So previously, I went ahead and went over basically just the new starter rare cards from the 4th series starter deck, the Guardian of NAMEKIAN series. So we went over that in a different video. So if you guys want to check that out, that should be on the screen in the last 20 seconds of this video. Just scroll all the way to the end of this video. You should see it pop right up. Or there might be a card in the top right corner to check that out, because that deck is all about NAMEKIANs, and it seems like a lot of the green cards in this, because they're green too, it's funny, right? No, it's not. But anyways, it seems like a lot of the green cards in this are going to be support for NAMEKIANs as well, and also Universe 7 and stuff. I was very surprised in that other video that they're keeping the Universe 7 trait. I don't mind it. I really enjoy it. In fact, I love it, to be honest, because it adds more support for the themed booster Tournament of Power decks that came out with that set. Like, for example, somebody that comes to mind is the UI Goku leader, who can only run cards that have the Universe 7 trait in the deck and nothing else. So it's like the more cards they create that have that trait, then of course the more options a deck like that would have. So I really enjoy that. That is something that they're keeping going in this set and in the the starter deck, excuse me, that comes along with this set. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy this video. Subscribe, of course, if you are new, for more content on the channel. It's not the only thing I do, but I try to bring out content every few days, at least a couple of times a week here on the channel. So thank you guys. I appreciate the support. You guys have been amazing. So let's go ahead and jump in. Our very first card that we are going to look at in the green card list is another Piccolo. So this is actually a traditional Piccolo. The other one wasn't. But anyways, they have a new mechanic in this set too, bond ability. So we're gonna take a look at that. So this Piccolo, when he attacks a leader, okay, so this is the go-to for these cards. And I talked about in the other video how I don't mind this type of leader skill. I don't mind this. Yeah, it could be better when it attacks any other card, but he's going to flip and get when he attacks any card. They're going to remove the leader card text from this effect. But still, the ability to draw on both sides is pretty awesome. Also, untapping 2. I've come around to like this a bit. You know, traditionally, I've always loved the draw 2 for the hand advantage, but untapping 2 allows you to pop more plays, to be honest. 2 isn't that much. You wouldn't think it's as good as it is, but it can be really good in a lot of decks. But this is their go-to generic I want to say passive, too much Dokkan. Their generic leader ability on this side of these cards these days. It is what it is. Bond 2. So when you have 2 NAMEKIANs on the board, he gets the effect to be a critical card, okay? When he attacks, he draws a card, then choose up to 1 NAMEKIAN in your battle area, and it gains 5,000. Okay, I like it. Not great, but I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, he has critical. A leader with critical is always a plus in my book. It's what made the blue Vegeta so good, and he's still pretty good to this day. There aren't very many of those, so I will take that. I will say that's a plus. Unfortunately, you require 2 NAMEKIANs. I would prefer something along the lines of Vegeta's ability, where he can kind of self-awaken. But regardless, I digress. You know, that's pretty awesome. Same thing like Mass Sand and stuff like that. Critical is great. Drawing a card, perfect. Being able to buff up an individual NAMEKIAN, fine. I'll take it. He's not a great leader, but he's better than a lot of leaders that I think came out in the Tournament of Power set too. So I will take that. Okay. Oh, look, somebody that doesn't have the generic leader skill on the front side. Choose 1 card in your life and add it to your hand. Ooh, Self-Awakening. Gains critical for the... I was just talking about that with this guy. I would so much rather have this than the Bond. Like, Bond seems too cheeky to me, to be honest. Like, I don't care about bond abilities from what I've seen so far, from like the 3 cards I've seen that had it so far. Maybe some other cards will pop out that I'll be like, okay, that's great. But like, okay, Self-Awakening and critical on the front side. Perfect. And he gets to draw too. Slug looks like a really good leader already. He looks like he's the best NAMEKIAN leader by far. Attack, draw card. Perfect. Keep the draw. Well, you get my point. He draws 2 here, but draw here every time. Place 1 card from your hand in the drop area. Do not like discarding a card. Your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and places it in the drop area. I could see how that could be good, especially when you're trying to go for a game. Also with cards like UI Goku from the Tournament of Power set that forces your opponent to discard a card if your leader is green. I could see how this could be good. Hand control, I could see how that could be good. I'm sure there's more hand control cards than these green cards. I'd just rather have this. I would just rather not have to pay anything and get a critical ability instead, to be honest. I'll have to play with him to see how great that is. But nonetheless, on this side, he's amazing. He's weird because he's like the first leader I've ever seen that I think I like better non-awakened. So that's weird. Okay. I'll have to see it. Like, it could be great. I just don't like that I have to drop a card. That's the issue. I just don't like that I have to drop it. But I guess it's an activate main. You don't have to do it. But if you don't do it, then he has no crit. He has no double strike. He has no other redeeming factor other than his draw. He doesn't do anything but draw a card. So really what it is, and the way you have to look at it is you get to draw, then you drop a card. Let me look at it from a more glass half full perspective. This is great for something like Overwhelm, or cards that operate with cards being in your drop, etc., etc. And it's also great because your opponent is forced to drop a card that they might have used to combo or negate or things of that nature. So they're forced to drop something. So there is merit to this. I just, again, would rather have the other ability. But again, you start off with 5 cards in your hand. When this guy attacks, you go up to 6, you go back down to 5. That's what it is. So I guess. Okay, 1-drop Gohan. 5,000. Oh boy, is he a Kaba? Oh, with critical. When this card attacks, choose 1 card in your life and add it to your hand. If you do so, this card gains 10,000 power and critical for the duration of the turn. Wow. Huh. If this isn't a 4 of in every freaking deck that runs green, I just don't know. This is Kaba all over again. That damn Kaba makes it as a 4 of in almost every single deck that plays any red. And this Gohan is the exact same thing. I can't wait till we get a blue variation of this. Blue variation is the card gains 10k and untaps 2 energy. Screw off, bro. Okay, this Gohan is amazing, and he's an uncommon card. This card is going to be very, very meta relevant. Although it depends how relevant green is as a color. But in a control deck and critical decks, I mean, I can't see a scenario where you wouldn't use this card if you run any green. There's just no reason not to. He's great. So that's all I can really say. I'm not very excited about that as a competitor. Like, as somebody going up against this, I'm not very excited about this because I hate when critical is done against me. I damn sure will hate when it's done turn 1. Well, I guess, you know, turn 2 because you can attack, but you get my point. But, like, damn. So, Power Barrier Piccolo. Wow, he literally only has barrier. Okay, moving on. Power Barrier has a barrier. How on the nose can you be? Bandai, seriously. Reign of Terror, King Piccolo, 5-drop, just like the King Piccolo in the starter deck. So 2 specified energy cost. Just got a subscriber, thank you. Dual attack, activate main, place this card in your drop area, choose up to 1 of your energy and switch it to active mode. Then choose up to 1 Piccolo or Piccolo Jr. with an energy cost of 4 or less from your hand to play it. Place this card in your drop area. Place this card in your drop area. He has dual attack, which is cool. Choose up to 1 energy and switch it to active. Then choose up to 1 with an energy cost of 4 or less from your hand and play it. The 5 energy that he has basically gets replaced with the untap, which it doesn't necessarily untap 5, but it untaps that and swaps it out for a 4. That could be really good, especially if you've gone ahead and used both of your attacks. This card is actually really good. It's got more potential than I think it'll get recognized for. Attack, attack, swap out, untap. Pop in a Piccolo or Piccolo Jr., which I'll have to look at those. But, yeah, this card has crazy good potential. Guru, of course. We have Guru. Is he super combo? No, okay. Choose 1 of your battle cards and it gains 5,000. Oh, he's a Sensu Bean. Basically, but not really. Because he's different. Because he's a turn 1 drop. 5k combo if you want to, but turn 1... Once per turn, he stays on the board. He doesn't have barrier. If he had barrier, I think he'd be ridiculous, to be honest. You just never attack with him, and he's always out there. You get to pump up anything you want for 5k. I like it. I like it. I think Namekians are looking pretty fun. I think their archetype is looking really fun. We have Nail, the Namekian ace. Yes, Nail. We need more Nail. Bond 2 for... Wait. The skill takes effect when you have 2 or more battle cards in play. So this is the first bond that isn't specified to character trait. There's no special trait for Namekian on this. So this is active in any deck when there's 2 or more battle cards out there. So this is a way for them to start restricting auto abilities mainly. I didn't even realize that, but it is. It's just auto ability restriction. When he attacks, draw a card, and it gains 5,000 for the duration of the turn. 15k, draw 1. He's great. I mean, 2 energy. Reminds me of that BCC Gohan. Otherwise, it's pretty good. I would totally run 4 of those probably. Totally probably. That's about the most undefinitive thing I've ever seen or said. Bond 2. This one actually has a Namekian special trait on it. Reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. So when you have a couple Namekians out there, he becomes a 1-drop. And he draws you a card. Okay. Not bad. I like it. I'm not seeing the spam potential. Like the Namekian, like that whole Bond thing only works if they have the potential to pop out multiple Namekians consecutively. And I'm not seeing that. They need somebody like that Topo from the Tournament of Power set that's just is like, yo, top 10, pull 2, play them. Like they need something like that to be able to really do that. Unless they're going to rely on playing a bunch of 1-drops, which it's looking like there's a lot of small cards that you play. You know, we're at a Dende. We're at, you know, a bunch of other cards. It looks like there's a bunch of small cards you play, and I don't want to really rely on that. Looking at the top 3 cards in your deck, add a Namekian to your hand. He's your turn 1 play. Perfect. Popo, Guardians 8. Oh, boy. Popo's back. He has the God trait, actually, so that's pretty interesting. Okay, I'll take it. When you combo with this card, when you attack or combo with this card, so that's different. If you play him and you attack, if your leader card is green, place up to 3 cards at the top of your deck and the drop barrier. That's overwhelm food, basically. This card's really good. Unfortunately, they restrict him to being a green leader, because, like, this is great in, like, Mass Saiyan, but it's not, because he can't use that leader. But otherwise, it'd be pretty good. Oh, there is Salinel and Purina. The 2 from Universe 6. Super combo. Yes. When you combo with this card at 5 or less, draw a card and do 10k. I like that 5 or less. It's pretty nice. I think that's what those should have been in the first place, because people try to stall you at 5 and then go for a game. So I like that. Once per turn, choose 1 Namekian from your hand and place it under this card. Oh, we're seeing more like Union and Absorb type abilities. Place 1 card and this card, draw 1 card, excuse me, and this card gains 10,000 and critical. 20k critical 2-drop? Okay. For the duration of the turn. Choose 1 Namekian from your hand and place it under this card. So it's kind of like that King Piccolo earlier, where it's like, you know, you're getting the advantage because you're drawing, but you're not, because that card is basically replacing a card you have to pay for a cost, basically. You're paying a cost by putting a card under Purina, so that's not great. But 20k 2-drop. Critical. You do it every turn, and you draw a card. So still drawing a card is still more valuable than getting rid of one, and the reason being is because it allows you to cycle through your deck. And if Purina actually gets popped, then those cards go to the drop, which again, good for Overwhelm. He's actually pretty good. Oh, Slug! Young again! Slug's army. Do not like that. Do not like that at all. That literally just killed Slug, unless there's a bunch of good Slug army cards. You play this if your leader is Slug Army. Choose up to 1 Slug Army in your drop area with an energy cost of 3 or less and play it. Then choose up to 1 of your energy and switch to active. Pretty good. I like it. Same thing as, it looks like it's basically the same thing as King Piccolo, with just 1 less energy and 1 less cost earlier. So it's like the same exact card. And he's restricted to Bond, which I don't know if King Piccolo was restricted to Bond, actually. He is not, and he also has dual attack. So yeah, King Piccolo is actually like looking like he's a lot better, but I guess it depends on the deck. Lord Slug returned to form with all the Dragon Balls you play. Choose up to 1 Slug Army from your deck with an energy cost of 4 or less and add it to your hand. Oh, so you can actually pull this card if you want to. On turn 2, you can add him to your hand. That's pretty awesome. I don't really have much opinion on some cards like that, so I'm like, you know, it's pretty awesome, I guess. I have to play with the deck to really give an opinion on some of these. Anguilla, I remember this guy. Critical. But he has critical automatically. 3-drop, 15k with critical. Yeah, it's okay. It's pretty decent. That's about the prerequisite. I think you'd have to be about a 3-drop, you know, and that's about normal to get critical. 2 Slug Army characters out there. When this card attacks, if your leader is Slug Army, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and places it in the drop area. So the Slug deck is starting to look like it's hand control. The Namekians look like they're board control. Slug looks like he's more, his deck is more hand control. Okay. Okay, so we have, oh, is that Tambourine? Yes, are we going to get, like, drum in those? That's pretty awesome. Wow, don't give them Demon Clan. You could have gave them freaking, you could give them, like, Namekian. Yeah, I guess they're not Namekian, but, like, still. They're from a Namekian. Metamacha. When you play this, if your leader is Slug Army, place one meta token. Play one meta token, excuse me. Okay. Board spam. Like it. I will take that. Critical. 2-drop. 2 specified green. 15k. Okay. Oh, Symbol. Where's Drum? There's Drum. My favorite one. Oh, wow. And they shafted Drum so bad. No abilities. Screw off. Blocker. Okay, I think this is the first blocker I've seen. 1-drop blocker. Why didn't you just give him the extra text at the bottom? These new style blockers are getting where you get to play them for free if a specified leader's out there. What's the point of that? Why are you going to make people pay the energy for this? 1-drop blocker, fine. I like it. But, like, come on, bro. At least give him revenge or something. Maybe revenge would be too good. Ooh, a special beam cannon card. Extra card. Yeah, extra card. Why does it say that the type is a battle card? It's an extra card. Screw off. Anyways, we'll come to that in a second. I mean, like, there's nothing here with Drum anyway, so actually we'll come back. Activate battle. Maybe that's why. If your leader is Piccolo, it gains 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. So this card only works if Piccolo, your leader, is being attacked. Then choose up to 1 card in your opponent's hand and place it in the drop area. Okay, so a little bit of... This seems like it could be really good because 10k is quite a bit for 1 energy and an added effect of forcing your opponent to drop a card. This seems like it could be pretty good. If they're trying to game you, you can kind of play out of it, it seems like. So I actually really like that. I think that card would be a 4 of in a Piccolo deck, to be honest. Like, it can kind of substitute for a negate. You don't necessarily need them, I don't think. So anyways, Dynamic Field card. For 1 green energy once per turn, choose 1 card in your hand and place it in the drop area. Look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 Namekian with an energy cost of 2 or less among them and put it in play. See, that's what I'm talking about. They need cards like this. I don't really like the discard thing, but I guess they're trying to make sure that people are paying more costs for spamming the board. Fine, whatever. 1 energy and a discard, which again, this deck's probably going to be heavy overwhelm at this point because they love discarding stuff at this point. Top 5 cards, choose up to 1 Namekian with an energy cost of 2 or less and play it. I mean, that's why I was saying it looks like the Namekians have a bunch of smaller drops, and I'm starting to, like, cards like this is perfect. You need cards like this. So that's great. I really like this. Top 5 is limiting, but even more so limiting is 2 or less. We're going to need more Namekians that are 2 or less, to be honest, probably. But I like it, man. That's the type of stuff I need. We got a counterattack, a negate. If your leader card is Namekian, so this should work with Slug as well, even though it's Piccolo. When you activate this card's counter, you may choose 1 card from your life and add it to your hand. Ooh, so you negate, but you still pull the life. So it's a free negate if you pull the life still. Why did they limit this to being a Namekian dex? This is actually a really good negate. Because you get the self-awakening and you get to manage how much life you get hit for. Because what if that's like a triple strike? I would definitely rather pay 1 energy instead. Although this isn't great if you don't have any, or 1 life instead. You know, but nonetheless, it doesn't have to pay the life. You can just you know, play it naturally by using the energy. Otherwise, you can use basically Mecha Frieza's ability and play this card by pulling a life, but for free on energy. That's pretty awesome, man. It's giving you the choice between just flat out negating for 1 energy or taking the life, which again is great because it allows you to do what you need to do. Which means that with 1 energy or potentially no energy, you could negate several attacks if you have several negates. This is really good. I like it. I like it a lot. We just need a Piccolo that has like Universe 7 as like you know, that Warrior Universe 7 thingy that the new leaders have that gives them no specified cost. We need that so I can run like UI Goku in there pretty well. And like the whole Goku package. So that'd be pretty awesome. But I like this. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to, of course, for more content. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you excited for set 4? Let me know. Hope you all enjoyed. Have an awesome day, and I'll catch you guys in the next Dragon Ball Super card game video.